This approximately 15-minute video introduces you to 11 English words from 1100 Words You Need to Know by Murray Bromberg and Melvin Gordon, a top resource for expanding your vocabulary. The aim is to enrich your word choices. But this video isn't just about definitions or usage. My colleagues and I will share some cool techniques to help you remember these words. So whether you're commuting, taking a break, or have a few spare moments, you can watch this video and make the most of your time by improving your English vocabulary. At the end of the video, you'll hear a short story from the book, featuring all the words we've discussed. So, stay tuned until the end and see if you can understand the story. The word for today is disparage. Disparage is a verb. Disparage means to criticize someone or something in a way that shows you do not respect or value him, her, or it. For example, the actor's work for charity has recently been disparaged in the press as an attempt to get publicity. The actor's work for charity has recently been disparaged in the press as an attempt to get publicity. Any tricks to remember this word? To remember disparage, think of it as dis meaning apart or away, and parage from par, which means equal or rank. So, to disparage someone is to push them apart or away from being seen as equal, essentially putting them down or belittling them. Disparage, disparage, disparage. The word for today is laudable. Laudable is an adjective. Laudable means an action or behavior that deserves praise, even if it is not completely successful. For example, the recycling program is laudable, but does it save much money? The recycling program is laudable, but does it save much money? Any tricks to remember this word? To remember the word laudable, associate it with applaud, which both sound similar and relate to praise. Visualize someone doing something remarkable, like helping others or achieving a significant goal, and imagine a crowd clapping and applauding them. This mental image of applause will help you recall that laudable means deserving praise. Laudable, laudable, laudable. The word for today is fiasco. Fiasco is a noun. A fiasco means a complete failure or disaster. For example, the show was a fiasco. One actor forgot his lines and another fell off the stage. The show was a fiasco. One actor forgot his lines and another fell off the stage. Any tricks to remember this word? To remember fiasco, think of Fiat in a Costco. Picture a small Fiat car crashing through the entrance of a Costco, causing a huge mess and chaos inside. The phrase Fiat in a Costco sounds like fiasco and helps you associate it with the major disaster. Fiasco, fiasco, fiasco. The word for today is masticate. Masticate is a verb. Masticate means to chew food thoroughly. For example, the child will then have 16 teeth with which it can properly masticate soft solid food. The child will then have 16 teeth with which it can properly masticate soft solid food. Any tricks to remember this word? To remember masticate, think of the phrase must eat cake. Must eat cake. Imagine you have a delicious cake that you must eat. And to eat it, you have to chew it thoroughly, and to enjoy every bit of its flavor. The phrase must eat cake sounds similar to masticate, helping you remember that it means to chew. Masticate, masticate, masticate. The word for today is eschew. Eschew is the verb. Eschew means to deliberately avoid or abstain from something. For example, we won't have discussions with this group unless they eschew violence. We won't have discussions with this group unless they eschew violence. Any tricks to remember this word? To remember eschew, think of s as the beginning of the word escape and chew as something you need to avoid chewing because it's unpleasant. By combining these ideas, escape and chew for something to avoid, you can remember that eschew means to deliberately avoid or abstain from something.
Eschew, eschew, eschew.
Now let's read a short story that uses all the words we've learned today to see if you understand the story's meaning. Hold that Nobel Prize. Speaking of inventions and discoveries, I just learned that an eminent scientist in Ohio has developed a pill that contains all the nutritive value of 3 complete meals. In addition to providing us with the vitamins and minerals we need daily, this pill also gives a feeling of fullness. According to its sponsors, the pill will nourish and satisfy. I hate to disparage such a laudable achievement, but to me it seems like a most objectionable discovery. Rather than a scientific triumph, I'd be inclined to label it as an egregious blunder, a scientific disaster, a laboratory fiasco. Is there anyone in his right mind who thinks that a pill can replace the pleasures of devouring hot cornbread, masticating on a thick steak, biting into crisp French fries, or attacking a chocolate sundae? I'm afraid that this is one pill I'll have to eschew chewing.
Okay, now I'll explain the short story again using simpler words.
Talking about inventions and discoveries, I just found out that a famous scientist in Ohio has made a pill that has all the nutrients of 3 full meals. Besides giving us the daily vitamins and minerals we need, this pill also makes you feel full. According to its creators, the pill will nourish and satisfy. I don't want to criticize such a great achievement, but to me, it seems like a bad idea. Instead of a scientific success, I'd call it a huge mistake, a scientific failure, a lab disaster. Does anyone really think a pill can replace the joy of eating hot cornbread, chewing a thick steak, enjoying crisp French fries, or indulging in a chocolate sundae? I'm afraid this is one pill I'll have to avoid.
Now, let's move on to the next 6 words. There will also be a short story after the explanation of these words. The word for today is quell. Quell is a verb. Quell means to put an end to something, usually by force. For example, police in riot gear were called in to quell the unrest. Police in riot gear were called in to quell the unrest. Any tricks to remember this word? To remember the word quell, think of quell as quiet and well. Quiet and well. When you quell something, you make it quiet or calm it down. So, to quell is to make things quiet and well under control. This association can help you remember that quell means to put an end to something or to suppress it. Quell, quell, quell. The word for today is verbose. Verbose is an adjective. Verbose means using more words than necessary to express something. In simple terms, it means being wordy. For example, legal writing is often unclear and verbose. Legal writing is often unclear and verbose. Any tricks to remember this word? To remember the word verbose, break it down into verb and boss. Verb boss. Imagine a boss who loves to use a lot of verbs when talking, making their speech very wordy and long. So, when you think of verbose, you can picture a boss who can't stop talking and uses more words than necessary.
Verbose, verbose, verbose.
The word for today is confidant. Confidant is a noun. A confidant is a person you trust and share your feelings and secrets with. For example, he is a trusted confidant of the president. He is a trusted confidant of the president. Any tricks to remember this word? Think of confidant as related to confidence. A confidant is someone you have confidence in and trust with your secrets. This association can help you remember that a confidant is a trusted person with whom you share your secrets. Confidant, confidant, confidant. The word for today is obsolescence. Obsolescence is a noun. Obsolescence means the process of becoming outdated or no longer useful. Mobile phone technology is developing so quickly that many customers are concerned about obsolescence. Mobile phone technology is developing so quickly that many customers are concerned about obsolescence. Any tricks to remember this word? Break the word into obso and lessence. Think of obso as a part of obsolete, meaning out of date, and the ending lessence as a process of change. This ending is similar to adolescence, which signifies the process or state of becoming. Visualize an old device, obso, gradually fading out of use, lessence, much like how adolescence is a transition period, when a young person is developing into an adult. This helps you remember that obsolescence is the process of becoming outdated and no longer useful. Obsolescence, obsolescence, obsolescence. The word for today is dubious. Dubious is an adjective. Dubious means having doubts or being unsure about something. For example, let us think for a moment about the dubious benefits of nuclear technology. Let us think for a moment about the dubious benefits of nuclear technology. Any tricks to remember this word? To remember the word dubious, think of it as, do you believe us? Do you believe us? Imagine someone saying something suspicious and then they said, do you believe us? With a suspicious tone. This sound association helps you recall that dubious means being doubtful or suspicious. Dubious, dubious, dubious. Now let's read a short story that uses all the words we've learned today to see if you understand the story's meaning. Perfect products. I guess we'll never be able to quell those persistent rumors about the invention of auto tires that will never go flat, stockings that cannot run, and pens that won't dry out. A verbose economist informed me that such products will never be marketed. Can you imagine, he asked, a manufacturer cutting his own throat? Why would he sell you an item that you will never have to replace? No, my confidant whispered. It's part of their scheme of planned obsolescence to sell you merchandise with a limited lifespan in order to keep you coming back for more. I am dubious about the existence of those perfect products, but then I'm a skeptic.
Okay, now I'll explain the short story again using simpler words. I guess we'll never stop hearing those persistent rumors about the invention of auto tires that never go flat, stockings that can't run, and pens that won't dry out. A talkative economist told me that such products will never be sold. Can you imagine, he asked, a company hurting its own business? Why would they sell you something you'll never need to replace? No, my friend whispered, it's part of their plan to sell you things that don't last long so you'll keep buying more. I doubt those perfect products exist, but then again, I'm a skeptic.
Did you catch that? If not, keep listening, I'm sure you'll be able to grasp it soon. Meanwhile, this is the end of this video. I hope you have learned something useful, and that the methods I used to help you remember the words were helpful. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, share and subscribe. If you have another way of memorizing any of these words, please leave your comments so that we can learn from you too. Thanks.